Ladies and gentlemen, save democracy. Save democracy. Every time any opposition party loses an election, loses its deposit, or loses a state, they start with this slogan, save democracy. Now, what is the slogan? If the opposition feels that it is going extinct in India, I think it's better they come up with a slogan, save us. Why say save democracy? Say save the Congress. Say save the Communist Party of India, Marxist. Say save the All India Majlis-e-Ittihadul Muslimin. Why say save democracy? But they keep saying save democracy, save democracy. This time also the slogan is the same at the end of the parliament session, but the ring is missing. The opposition marching today with another save democracy placard isn't quite getting the same response. Even on social media, the most hardened anti-Modi people are not impressed with the slogan anymore, save democracy. In my view, this whole save democracy thing has become a charade, a weak, pitiful complaint rather than a loud public slogan. And who likes people who keep complaining all the time? Do you like people? I'm sure you don't like people who morning, day and night keep complaining. Do you like parties who morning, day and night keep complaining? Of course not. So when the opposition marches saying, save democracy, that also after fighting so much inside the India Alliance meetings, people rightly ask, can a group squabbling about so many things internally sort out their own lives first? Yes, there were a bunch of thugs and wannabe terrorists who jumped with smoke bombs into parliament. But then, these are the same people who are Congi and CPM supporters. So it's the Congi and CPM people, if anyone, who should look at their own support base, their own Twitter, social media support base, who have now jumped into parliament with smoke bombs. What is there to bring parliament to a halt over it? As a tax-paying citizen of the country, I ask, why is my parliament being brought to a standstill, and why is my parliament being blackmailed? You see, winning elections is the job of every party. And saying that democracy is dead is like the country which comes last in the Olympics medal table or doesn't get a single medal, saying that, you see, the Olympic Games themselves are fixed, so save the Olympics. Get a bronze medal first before you say save the Olympics. And if you can't, then say that you are losers. I think the opposition should come up with a real agenda before 2024. Anyway, with Mallikarjun Kharge as their likely face, things aren't looking up too much for them anyway. If the opposition wants a sympathy vote, they should just say, save us. Imagine all these leaders walk outside parliament, one big placard, they all carry it in their hands, save us, save us, save us somehow. And then let the people decide if saving them is the people's responsibility. That is my view. Debate number one, the save democracy nonsense has gone on for far too long, viewers. That's my view. What do you think? And debate number two this evening. On a 10-day Vipassana course, defiant Kejriwal on Vipassanas says, I will not attend the ED summons for a second time. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lok Sabha was adjourned sine die today. The winter session is now over, with a record 146 MPs being suspended in the last few days. The opposition focused more on saving democracy protests than taking part in the democratic duties they were elected to perform. is this really about save democracy or save INDI? That's why my hashtag for debate number 1 is hashtag save INDI. I think this is about saving the INDI alliance and its constituent members, not saving democracy. Let's debate.
Same faces, same slogans, more or less the same protests. Just another day in Parliament. Opposition continuously attacking the centre with an absolute majority in order to save democracy.
डेमोक्रेसी में बात करना हमारा हक है। हम चुने हुए सदस्य हैं और लोगों के भावना को पार्लियामेंट में बताना पार्लियामेंट मेंबर्स का कर्तव्य होता है, वो हम कर रहे थे।
इस प्रकार से आप समझते हैं कि दुनिया भर के लोगों को आप मूर्ख बनाएंगे, घास खाते हैं लोग, ये मैं समझता हूँ भविष्य के लिए ऐसे मापदंड गणतंत्र लोकतंत्र के लिए अत्यंत दयनीय हैं, अत्यंत घृणात्मक हैं और भर्त्सना के योग्य हैं।
यही तो इरादा है कि मोदी शाही चलाने के लिए, लोकतंत्र का गला घोटने के लिए विपक्ष विहीन कर दी जाए सदन। तो जनता का अपमान नहीं है, जिसने चुनकर भेजा है, तो इसके लिए जवाबदार अगर कोई है तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी।
This even as the BJP won landslide victories in 3 states ahead of the parliament session.
भारत का वोटर ये जानता है कि जब भारत आगे बढ़ता है तो राज्य आगे बढ़ता है, हर परिवार का जीवन बेहतर होता है। इसलिए वो बीजेपी को चुन रहा है, लगातार चुन रहा है। और कुछ लोग तो कह रहे हैं कि आज की इस हैट्रिक ने 24 की हैट्रिक की गारंटी दे दी है।
Right after Amit Shah in Bengal confidently announced a landslide win in 2026.
ममता दीदी, जितना गुमराह करना है कर लीजिए। गत चुनाव में तो रैगिंग कर कर आप जीत गई, फिर भी हमारी 77 सीटें आई। 77 कहां 0 कहां 77। और इस बार 26 में रैली देखकर मैं स्पष्टता से कहने जाता हूं कि 26 के चुनाव में 2/3 बहुमत के साथ यहां पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बने।
Even as the opposition is trying to save democracy from a party that won over 300 of the 540 seats.
The assembly election results and the mass suspensions in parliament would have ideally galvanized an opposition into a unified fighting force. Instead, we are seeing theatrics, mimicry, grandstanding and pulling against each other like we saw in the case of the INDI alliance meeting. With not much time left and no plan to take on the Modi juggernaut, are we going to see again, like in 2014 and 2019, a Modi versus who in 2024?
Even as ex-Pakistani Prime Minister praised our trajectory, opposition still seems to be stuck.
हम खुद इसके जिम्मेदार हैं। हमने खुद अपने पांव पे कुल्हाड़ियां मारी, वरना आज ये मुल्क तो न जाने कहां पहुंचा होता। हमारे इर्द गिर्द के ममालिक चांद पे पहुंच गए हैं और अभी हम जमीन से नहीं उठ रहे।
The lack of vision, thought and clarity seems to be a common problem of the opposition. The BJP has repeatedly called the INDI bloc an anti-Modi alliance. And with no original ideas for the nation's future, their only poll pitch seems to be Modi Hatao, Democracy Bachao. Is democracy for opposition only when they are in power? Let's debate.
We'll get panelists as we move on, and I have Shubhrashta opening the debate with Abhinandita Mathur, and Pulla Rao is a fantastic, very strong anti-BJP voice, and there's Pankaj Sharma, senior journalist, another strong anti-BJP voice. So, you know, Pulla Rao, I want to start with you. Pulla Rao ji, you and Shubhrashta to open tonight. You see, I keep seeing this slogan, Save Democracy, and it's sounding more and more like Save Us. And you would admit that it is not the responsibility of people to save political parties. Political parties come and go. And when political parties face rejection, they can't make it out to be, a problem with democracy itself. I'm sorry, but this sounds exactly like Donald Trump. Donald Trump said when he lost the elections, he said, no, I won, and democracy is over because I lost. And I will keep repeating to my base that democracy in America is dead. I should have been the president. Of course, Donald Trump came close. The opposition parties are not even close. So has Donald Trump, Pankaj Sharma, Abhinandita, Pula Rao become the sort of role model for the India alliance? It sounds so similar. Sounds so awfully similar.
Shall I start?
Sir.
Hello?
Yes. Dr. Rao, you want to go first, please? Pula Rao, you want to go first? Please
Yes,
go
I
ahead.
can start. I think you defined democracy well, but you forgot one of the most important things maybe. It is the duty of government also to run parliament. It controls parliament. It has the speaker. It has the chairman of Rajya Sabha. They have to control it. The government can have its way, but the opposition must have its say. That's the essence of democracy. Is there a communication breakdown between the government and the opposition? Who is responsible for it? Is it not in the interest of government to make amends, to make concessions, get people to talk? Is that not what was done during Nehru's time, Indira Gandhi, Vajpayee, Morarji Desai, everybody? Where is this effort missing? Why is this effort missing? Why?
Subrashta.
It does reflect badly on us as a nation.
Okay.
Mr. Pula Rao, I have 2-3 submissions to make.
Subrashta, countering at the start.
Point number 1, when you say it's the responsibility of the government also to run the parliament, I agree with you. But let me ask you a simple question. Last time, when an important bill was supposed to be discussed, when the opposition made a huge hue and cry about it, and when the Home Minister, the Prime Minister came to address the Parliament, did you see the opposition even grace the Parliament with full attendance? We saw major leaders of the Parliament walking out from the opposition camp. So when you say that it's the government's responsibility to run the government, do you not see that the opposition is not interested in seeing the Parliament work? Point number 2, Mr. Pula Rao. What we saw a couple of days ago in the Parliament, I don't want to repeat the mockery they have made of the entire system by mocking the Vice President, all of that. But did you see any serious discussion happening after the Parliament, after some of the parliamentarians were thrown out of the House by the Speaker? They could have made this a huge political issue, but they failed to. What they instead did was to mock the office of the Vice President, to mock a man who is not exactly in his prime of youth. They made crass remarks about his age, about his health. Do you really see that this opposition is serious enough to hold any discussion? Forget about doing serious politics. Having even a conversation with them is impossible. Let us understand, Mr. Pula Rao, we are dealing with a situation in India today when the opposition does not know how to behave. The opposition has not been so out of power for such a long time. They have actually, for the lack of a better word, they have actually gone crazy. They don't really, their mental balance is not there.
I would at this stage explain why I have put up this hashtag. Okay, you can have a rebut, and then I'm getting to the second group of speakers tonight. Yes, Mr. Rao.
Just one thing. Who started this? Did it start from 2014? I think you remember, Arnabji, you have a very good memory. What did Mr. Arun Jaitley say, the late Arun Jaitley? He says, disrupting parliament is another way of parliamentary activity. That's what he said. What my behavior today is a carry-on of what was there earlier. It didn't start in 2014. You want to go back Subhastaji has said all kinds of things. I can very well agree with her, but she should go back. The foundations of this disruptions. Why would Manmohan Singh, a gentleman in his own right, with other, I agree there are all kinds of opinions, but a gentleman in his own right.
One minute. Let me get the other. Before you respond, Subhrashta, let me get in the second group of speakers tonight. Just want to give everyone their say at the start. I see Abbas there, Abhinandita there, and Sanju also opening the debate right now. So, just to take that point forward, Abhinandita, I don't know if you can hear me. If you can give me a thumbs up if you do. The question is, Abhinandita and Sanju, that we have before us is, I have put a hashtag which says Save the Indie. And I have put this in acknowledgement of your public stance that it is the responsibility of the people of India to save your political parties. I say, Abhinandita, it is not the responsibility of the people of India to keep your political careers intact. It is not the responsibility, Abbas, of the people of India to make sure you are chief ministers and prime ministers and ministers. It is your responsibility to win the trust of the people of India.
Exactly.
Second point, you know, this is like crying wolf. Point is, you've done it too many times. I agree with what Arun Jaitley said. He said not protesting, not participating is also a point. But Mr. Arun Jaitley did not do this every morning, day and night when he was being in the BJP. Have Arun Jaitley or Atal Bihari Vajpayee or any other tall leaders in our political life morning, day and night said the only job is to make sure Parliament does not work? Abbas, have any of them done that? You are doing it too often. Yes, Abbas. Abbas can't hear. Abhinandita, can she hear? Anyone who hears from the other side can start responding. Abhinandita, Abbas or Pankaj, who have not spoken yet, and then I'll come to you, Sanju.
By suspending 46 MP, what does they want us, the people of the country, know that because we want us, the people of the country, know that because
Abbas, your audio line is so bad, I'll have to interrupt you there. Abhinandita, can you hear me? Abbas, I'll get your audio line fixed. Abhinandita, can you hear me? Abhinandita or Pankaj? Abhinandita is not on. Pankaj, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Okay, so Pankaj, okay, let me ask you this. You know, there is this thing called PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. You have had some kind of political PTSD because you keep losing the elections, you have suffered some trauma, and after that you behave very badly. You say South versus North, Karti Chidambaram says South, Senthil Kumar blames what he calls our Gaumutra states, you blame EVMs, and now you say save democracy. This is unnatural political PTSD behavior in my view, Pankaj. That's why I'm saying save INDI.
See, a very to make mockery of this.
But for all well-meaning people, let me tell you, Mr. Goswami, it is a motto now, a watchword, a purpose. What else is more important than to save democracy at this moment when the propensity of the ruling dispensation to crush the entire opposition is showing its exceptionally stark naked side. Don't you see the clearest signs of democratic erosion? Of all the persons, Prime Minister himself is every day questioning the legitimacy of all opposition and use every available legal, illegal tool to undermine it. First he wanted a Congress-free India, now he wants opposition-free India. So what What else will opposition do if they will not raise the slogan of safe democracy?
No, but one second. Abhinandita, before you respond, it is you, if you have lost all the 3 Hindi heartland states, it is not the problem of the people of India. What is happening, Sanju and Abhinandita on a one-on-one debate right now, and Sanju and Abhinandita on the screen. Viewers, if there is a stress that the opposition has, which is not able to overcome, and now they are saying that it is your job to save us, I'm asking you, viewers, are you taking up the responsibility of saving the opposition? Does it become your ownership, your responsibility henceforth? Tell me what you think. I'll take some of your responses. I don't think it is. I'll let Sanju come in and then Abhinandita will respond at this point of time in the debate. Save democracy, Sanju. They believe the slogan has a ring to it.
You know, Arnab, I would like to start with a few words by the Prime Minister that he made on the floor of the Lok Sabha a few months back, obviously in a reference to the opposition. तुम्हारे पांव के नीचे जमीन नहीं है, तुम्हारे पांव के नीचे जमीन नहीं है, लेकिन कमाल तो ये है कि तुम्हें यकीन नहीं है, लेकिन कमाल तो ये है कि तुम्हें यकीन नहीं है. The basic premise of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's reference was this, that the opposition refuses to introspect. Look at this. The Aam Aadmi Party, for instance, was wiped out in Lok Sabha 2014, lost deposits en masse, was wiped out in Lok Sabha 2019, contested the Haryana Assembly elections, was wiped out there, contested the Karnataka Assembly elections recently, lost deposits on 99.99% seats, contested the Uttarakhand elections. Their entire party was disbanded and their entire party en masse joined the BJP after a humiliating defeat. So, in a democracy, the mandate at the hustings is what counts. Are you telling us that the BJP's victories in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh with more than a 45% vote share is something that is hogwash? Are you undermining the mandate of the people? And more importantly, this jibe that ED, CBI, income tax का इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है by the Modi government to win elections. Tell me one thing or not. Manish Sisodia's bail has been rejected at least 6 times by the Delhi High Court and the Supreme Court. Sanjay Singh's bail plea has been rejected by the Supreme Court. Satinder Jain, another so-called Raja Harishchandra incarnate of the Arvind Kejriwal dispensation, he has not been given any relief by the Supreme Court. When the apex court, the law of the land, says that yes, Arvind Kejriwal's cohorts currently need to be in lockup, how is it that you are blaming the Modi government? Are you wanting to run foul of the Supreme Court? Point number 4, and most importantly, you keep telling us that, you know, the BJP engages in polarization. When Hamid Ansari and Sonia Gandhi used to have these lavish iftar dinners, nobody questioned their secular credentials. But if Prime Minister Narendra Modi wears his Hindutva on his sleeve, and we say that come 22nd January 2024, Narendra Modi and many others will participate in the consecration of the Bhavya Ram Mandir, you suddenly say that, oh, this government is Islamophobic. This is the same Narendra Modi who in October 2021 met the Pope at the Vatican. He's more secular than all of you put together. This is the same Narendra Modi who was given the highest civilian award by the Egyptian government a couple of months back, and the Al-Hakim Mosque in Egypt has actually been renovated.
One minute. Now you're moving away. Sanju, 1 minute. Sanju, 1 minute. Sanju, just a minute. Sanju, just a minute. Sorry to interrupt you. You see, Abhinandita, when you say save democracy, you begin with a presumption that there is a problem with democracy. And it has been, you know, earlier the opposition parties used to say the reason we say save democracy is because India's institutions are under threat. And you have spared no institutions, you have attacked the media, whatever you may say. But you've also now started disrespecting the judiciary. I say, Abhinandita, to you, it is clear to me that you don't have any respect for India's institutions. These are the same institutions, for example, the judiciary, which has extended Sanjay Singh's stay in jail by another 3 weeks.
Perfect.
These are the same institutions which have said prima facie there seems to be a case against Manish Sisodia. This is the same institution that appears to be convinced that Satyendra Jain has had some extensive hawala dealings.
Exactly.
How long will you hide behind the Save Democracy slogan? Then you went crying and weeping to the Supreme Court, saying the agencies are against us. The Supreme Court said, you have a political problem. This is not a problem with the agencies or the institutions or the process of investigation or the criminal justice system. The problem is that you are a bunch of people who have lost the election. Go fight the elections and sort out your political issues. Don't come crying to us. So these are institutions. You understand? Now, having said that, there is a witness called Alpha. Alpha has given proof in a sealed cover to the court. The court sees the evidence and the court says, oh my God, this is the kind of stuff that Sanjay Singh has done. Of course he's going to stay in jail. So the courts make up their mind on the basis of evidence. Nobody watching this program tonight, not one person, let me tell you, Abhinandita, would believe you and not the courts. So democracy is very solid. Institutions, Abhinandita, are extremely strong. And because you're not able to influence the institutions, your people are in jail.
Arnab, can I quickly...
If there was no evidence and if there was no scam, then your top leaders would not be cooling their heels in jail.
True.
Now contradict a single factual point that I have made. Contradict a single point that I have made in the last 2 minutes.
Would Sanju like to add? Sanju like to add?
You don't want to answer? You want some more time to prepare?
May I please answer?
I want to, but because she said she wants to add something, so I thought may as well.
No, 1 minute.
Take on both the questions at one go.
No. Let you answer.
Okay.
She will add after you speak, please. She will speak after you. My point was the judiciary is strong. The judiciary is refusing to give your leaders any bail. The judiciary is one of our most respected institutions.
Okay.
And that's what
I heard your
democracy
question.
strong.
I heard your question. So.
Yes.
Okay. So firstly, democracy is not some theoretical notion or a word, right? It basically means people. What everybody is trying to say is that we are a democracy in the sense that we are the rule of the people. And that is what people are talking about. Who cares whether it's called democracy or democracy? I don't think that for a common person, that word itself matters. So that is one. Two, we need to have some sort of serious commitment to the cause, right? Commitment to the cause of justice, commitment to the cause of what a word that you don't like perhaps and we do, which is democracy.
Are you saying the courts are not committed to the cause of justice? Are you accusing the courts of the country who have kept your leaders in jail?
No, that's not what I'm doing.
The courts of the country are keeping your leaders in jail. And on the program, you are accusing the courts of violating the principles of justice?
No, that's not what I'm doing. What I'm trying to say is that power tends to corrupt, and absolute power can corrupt absolutely, and it is dangerous. And like I can see today, it is not only dangerous for the people who are governed, but also I think it is dangerous for those who are in power, as the power goes into their head and they can really go berserk at times. You were talking about post-traumatic disorder, which is actually not very appropriate to speak because it's a mental health condition and it's not right to speak about it. But at the same time, I'll have to say that, we did see some early signs of some sort of, power going into the head with somebody wearing a suit embroidered with his name. What we are trying to say is that there is a reason why in the government, in the system that we have, there are checks and balances. The reason for these checks and balances are to ensure that nobody has the full authority or power, and which is why there are all these checks and balances in place. One such instrument of ensuring checks and balances is the opposition. If there are going to be no discussions, if there are going to be, there's going to be no debate in the parliament, if we are just going to keep passing bills only because we have numbers, then of course very soon you'll probably have a bigger minority, and then everything changes. What about the people of this country who also voted for Modi ji and who want to talk about, want to talk about the economy?
1 minute, Sanju, let her complete and then you come in. Let her complete, Sanju, and then you come in.
Voters of the BJP are interested in. So absolutely killing discourse, absolutely killing the voice of the opposition.
So the point being made here.
Instrument of checks and balances,
the point being made here.
Cut it.
The point being made here, and I'm not doing a balancing act on this, but I need to put it a little differently. Abhinandita, may I come in? May I come in? However critical I am of the INDI alliance, Sanju, I just want to give them a view and then you can respond to all of them entirely. The question is this: however critical I am of the INDI alliance.
Party finished speaking. Can I?
1 minute. Let me complete. No, Sanju, I have a thought here. You respond to what I'm saying. I'm giving the opposite side enough view and then I will let you respond to all of them in entirety. I assure you. So the point here is, I want to go to Abbas once because he has not spoken. The point I'm trying to make here is that even if you say that the INDI alliance is making a non-issue an issue, by asking 149 MPs to be suspended on the last 3 days of parliament, the government or the chair or the ruling party also invites upon itself the charge of an extreme reaction. What if you had not suspended them, chastised them, or asked them to leave the house for 1 hour? They would be back. But you sort of were very tough with it. 149 MPs out. And therefore you have given them a headline that they would be seeking. Therefore I would say the BJP is played into the opposition's hands out here.
I need to come in here.
So that's the flip side of it. I want Abbas to take it forward. Sanju responds. The debate is on. Abbas. Who's overreacting? Abbas, please. Abbas and then Sanju, you'll react to all of them. Abbas.
I hope I'm audible now. See, Arnab, BJP basically, 146 opposition MPs have been suspended. They have been elected by hundreds of millions of people of this country. So basically, Bharatiya Janata Party want to stop the voice of the common people of this country, but they can't do it. See, Bharatiya Janata Party and the current government, they think that they are invincible. Nobody is invincible. There is a shade which I would like to use here. कि तुझसे पहले जो एक शख्स यहाँ तख्त नशी था, उसे भी अपने खुदा होने का इतना ही यकीन था. So power will come and go, people will come and go, but the democracy, the parliamentary values of our country, they will always stand. And the parliament is not constructed by stone and cement.
Now.
It is being constructed by the values of our constitution. And you have not let a single stone unturned to destroy such values. Let me tell you, every discussion on a bill in parliament,
but the other flip side, Abbas,
4 to 5 minutes. Let me tell you, there has been no deputy speaker in the Lok Sabha. I mean, is this not anti-democratic?
Can I please respond?
But Abbas,
my turn. Let me speak.
But Abbas,
earlier, let me tell you, out of 10 bills, 6 to 8 used to get scrutinized. Now hardly when one bill gets scrutinized. This is what has happened. And similar thing has happened with the parliamentary committees. So basically, Bharatiya Janata Party is against the ethos and value of the constitution and the parliament, and they have always tried to destroy the constitution.
Okay, Abbas.
And when the opposition is saying save the
Abbas,
democracy,
now
I think Bharatiya Janata Party.
Now let me give equal turn to the other side, please. Because AAP and SPF strongly put their point of view. Sanju is extremely restless. The point here being, Sanju, that you could have been, in their views, less intolerant of the disruptions of the opposition. If you want to, you can extend parliament to pass the bills. But why suspend 149 and strengthen their attempt to make Save Democracy slogan the buzzword? Sanju.
No, one little
interjection. Arnab, you don't allow the BJP to heckle. Now you need to moderate the debate. I am not going to moderate the debate.
Now she's responding. 1 minute, Abbas. Now she's responding, Abbas. Otherwise, I get caught in this fight between you people. Is there a? Can you tell me, in the history of Indian media, has there been a more balanced anchor than me? Let Sanju respond. Still, you people accuse me. Sanju, continue.
Arnab, I'm not going to get into that trap. You know, you've always maintained. I remember a couple of weeks on your debate, you said, I am not neutral. I'm on the right side of the fence as a nationalist anchor, and I respect that. And as for Sanju Verma being restless, yes, I'm restless, and for good reason. And I'll tell you why. You know, this whole narrative, democracy khatre mein hai, samvidhan khatre mein hai. This is such a charade by some charlatans, and I'll tell you why. The first meeting of the ... Alliance was held on 23rd June this year at Patna. And who threw a tantrum? Arvind Kejriwal. The second meeting of the ... Alliance was held on 17th and 18th of July in Bengaluru. And who threw a tantrum? Nitish Kumar. The third meeting of the ... Alliance.
You don't want to take the name of India.
Mumbai.
What is the problem?
No, this is unfair. You need to moderate the debate as an anchor. I will not allow
You are
myself
just coming
to be
with a
heckled by this.
timeline. Come
Okay,
on.
she calls it the India Alliance. Abbas, let her have her full say. There is a time delay I am dealing with. There's a delay between you guys. There's an audio delay. Don't interrupt. It makes things difficult for me. Cooperate. Thank you. I assure you I'll extend if required to let everyone have their say. Complete your point, Sanju.
Yes. So
Abbas, I'll come back to you, please. Please cooperate.
Why this
Thank you.
Alliance bunch is so thoroughly incompetent? On the 31st of August and 1st of September, the ... Alliance had its meeting at the Hyatt in Mumbai. And who threw a tantrum? Mamata Banerjee. As recently as 19th December, this week, they again had a meeting. The ... Alliance had a meeting in Delhi. And who threw a tantrum this time? The likes of T.R. Balu, Stalin, and they said, we are not here to accommodate the linguistic Hindi supremacy being peddled by Nitish Kumar and Lalu Yadav. So the limited point I'm making is that here the BJP is ready with its Panna Pramukhs, its booth Pramukhs. We have a national president. We have Prime Minister Narendra Modi as the face of the entire campaign. And opposition does not even know what the syllabus is. When they lose 2024, they will say, "Arey, EVM hack ho gaye the." And most importantly, I want to say one thing, Arnav. Who introduced the First Amendment in 1951 to curb free speech? It was Nehru. Who introduced the 42nd Amendment in 1976 to curb the power of courts? It was Indira Gandhi. I'm not even talking about the 1975 emergency imposed by Indira Gandhi. Who tried to bring the communal violence bill to subjugate Hindus in 2013? Thank God it did not pass muster. It was the Congress. Who tried to bring the anti-defamation bill? It was Rajiv Gandhi in 1980.
Okay, now.
To curb free dissent. So don't sit here and give a
Now we
on dissent and free speech and democracy.
Okay, now Sanju.
बिल्कुल शोभा नहीं देता. No, give me 10 seconds more. And
Now, Sanju.
You mollycoddle the Aam Aadmi Party.
Sanju.
You need to please give me 10 seconds. Or now don't mollycoddle the Aam Aadmi Party. Allow me 10 seconds. Very humbly. Very humbly I'm asking you.
Well, you are getting the 10 seconds, but you can avoid all the comments, please.
Okay. So now please. Do you remember, Arnav, in 2016, Delhi was reeling under dengue. What was Arvind Kejriwal doing? He was treating his throat infection at the Jindal Clinic in Bengaluru. In 2019-20, at the peak of COVID, thank God for Amit Shah, bodies were piling up at the Nigam Bodh Ghat in Delhi. And what Arvind Kejriwal was doing? He was doling out advertisement money to media channels to hide his incompetency. And recently, when Delhi was under floods, was under neck deep water, what was Kejriwal doing? He was saying, "Ye to hamari galti hi nahi hai."
Now, Sanju, you've taken more than 30 out of the 10 seconds you asked for. And I have to go to the other side. And my go back to my central point in my debate, which Mr. Pulla Rao, Pankaj can start, then I'll go to Abhinandita and Abbas. First point, Mr. Pulla Rao and Pankaj, you are experienced commentators. When something does not work for 6-7 years, you must realize it's not working. This Save Democracy thing has been going on for the last 10 years. 10 years, people have rejected it. Mallikarjun Kharge, this time also, September 2023, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan MP, he said this election is to save democracy, lost. Rahul Gandhi, 2019, this election is to save democracy, lost. 2014, Manmohan Singh said, if Narendra Modi becomes Prime Minister of India, who will save democracy? Lost. So, my point is this has gone past its expiry date, sir, Mr. Pularao.
Well said, Arnab, well said.
It's gone past its expiry date.
Definitely, you see, if you go back a little more, if you go back, 1988, it was Vajpayee, Advani, others who resigned and said, save democracy against Rajiv Gandhi. This didn't start today. They came to power in 1989, VP Singh and others, on this very plank. They resigned from Parliament 8 months before the tenure was over. I mean, these things have worked. If they are not working, now maybe it's because of the personalities involved.
Sir, you are completely getting the context wrong. Sir, 1 minute. In 1989, VP Singh came back on the back of Bofors.
Exactly.
A financial scam, not a general save democracy slogan.
They resigned. They resigned.
You got the context wrong, Mr. Pularao.
Resigned.
He does not
100 MPs resigned. 150 Lok Sabha MPs resigned.
Sir,
8 months before the election or 7 months before the election.
Okay, second point. Okay, Mr. Pularao, second point. So you're not giving up. Second point, Mr. Pularao, and this goes to Pankaj. Pankaj.
Banerjee of the TMC. And Rahul Gandhi says, mimicry mein kya galat kiya? Yadi mimicry
Okay,
to kya galat
now
kiya?
Pankaj.
You endorse Rahul Gandhi.
Yeah, one minute. Yeah, so Sanju, now I'm going to Pankaj. I'm getting everyone in. Pankaj. I think democracy was saved. I think in my view, democracy was saved when we removed Article 370. Agree or disagree? I think democracy was saved when the Women's Representation Bill was passed. Agree or disagree?
Agree, completely. And
See
democracy saved when the National Commission for Backward Caste was given constitutional status by the Modi government, which was hanging fire for 30 long years. Democracy was saved when Paharis were given scheduled status.
Take that.
Don't try. Please don't.
No. Let Pankaj take that. One minute. This is getting interesting.
Please,
Pankaj.
Please don't try to divert the things. The modality of our democratic decline in the times of present regime reveals how democracies die today. We are all witnessing it for last 10 years. See, these days democracies die not through a dramatic coup or midnight arrests of opposition leaders, but instead it moves through the fully legal harassment of the opposition, intimidation of media, and centralization of executive power. So by equating government criticism with disloyalty to the nation, the government of Narendra Bhai Modi is diminishing the very idea that opposition is legitimate. Isn't it unfortunate that a serious question is being asked everywhere, if India is still the world's largest democracy?
Sanju.
Should opposition throw paper rockets at the Vice President and at the Lok Sabha Speaker? Should opposition endorse the likes of Lalit Jha, the likes of Manoranjan D, the likes of Neelam Azad, and say that a terror attack, security breach is because there is high unemployment?
Abbas, respond.
You 2024 would be like 1977 when entire opposition, when it is about when there is the ruling government, ruling dispensation, they go against the democratic structure of the country, entire opposition come together. You remember in 1977, even Atalji was external affairs minister when Janeshwar Mishra ji was also there. Left, right, center does not matter. No, let me tell you, Sanju, left, right, center does not matter when it comes to our constitution, to the values of our nation.
Sanju and
2024 would be like 1977 when Bharatiya Janata, because we have imposed undeclared emergency in our country. Let me tell you,
winnable seats.
Sanju, remember this. You are not invincible. You are not invincible. Remember this. You are going to lose in 2024. You are petrified. You have accepted that you are going to lose power in the upcoming election. Let me tell you.
Wiped out in Uttar Pradesh in 2022. Kya hua?
Arey, forget about 22. Our vote share has increased in Uttar Pradesh. Our vote share has increased in Uttar Pradesh. And no vote share has decreased.
We have a tie-up with
So let's just talk about. Okay, you have won 3 states, but this is also a reality that another party, which is a partner of India, has got 10 lakh more than you. That's also a reality. You should also accept
able to
you should also accept the reality. The bitter truth you are not going to take it. So that's not correct. No, that's not correct.
Now,
you should also accept what is
now coming to the present. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the present and my last question tonight. My last question tonight on this very interesting debate, if I may be allowed a brief intervention, Subrashta and Abhinandita, my last argument tonight, I don't think democracy needs to be saved, Abhinandita, because today, with the passage of the new criminal bill, which is the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita Bill and the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita Bill, all these colonial laws are over and we have death penalty against hate crimes and mob lynching. So I believe democracy has become stronger today. Agree or disagree? Abhinandita, then Subrashta. Today democracy is stronger with that. Agree or disagree?
Disagree. And I disagree because it will go down in history that such an important law, such an important act will be passed without the opposition in the House. I think that is no victory for democracy. Number two, honestly, I have not read the nuances and details of the bill, but whatever on the surface I could judge, I think that there is much to speculate. It deserved discussion, it deserved debate before passing it. You've picked one example, but there may be many other examples which are dangerous or problematic. Two, it is also a surreal sort of day, when we can't really defend, we can't say that democracy is alive or justice, because it's just a sad day today. Because you know what has happened in Manipur today.
Okay.
You know what has happened.
Okay, Abhinandita, because I'm short of time, I'll get Subrashta to briefly rebut you. And then I'll wrap this up. Subrashta.
It's a really sad day for democracy today because somebody comes on a debate. Because somebody comes on a debate without having read the bill, without having read the draft, coming from a political party who claims to have a very nuanced position in the opposition voice itself. It is also a shame and a crying sad day for democracy today because members who were even ousted out of the House, they never proposed anything.
This is not even an argument.
Abhinandita, I was not, extend the courtesy of hearing a citizen of Delhi speak to you.
Because you made a comment on me, I'm just
I did not interrupt when you were speaking. I did not interrupt any of the speakers. I expect the same courtesy to be extended to me. I'm not in a political party and I want my politicians to hear the citizens of this country. And Arnab, tell me any of these MPs who have been, out of the House, have you heard them say anything about the bill, positive or negative? The problem is that the opposition in this country is a non-serious opposition who just wants people of this country to elect them on the basis of their theatrical quotient. Those days are over. 1970s, 80s, 2000s, 90s, they're all over. It's a new era. Yeah. India has gone into a new era. It's an assertive, progressive society. And the opposition should.
I've totally overshot the time limit. So this is very, very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Is it save democracy or save INDI? A lot of reactions coming in. We've had a really good exchange of views. I thank you all very much.